You know you've held my poor heart captive. There was something in your eyes, something in that smile that lit a spark and set my soul on fire. And since that day, I've been yearning for the call, the sign that I've been waiting for. Ooh, baby, I am longing for your love. I want sinking from that on, girl. You know you've held my poor heart captive. There was something in your eyes, something in that smile that lit a spark and set my soul on fire. And since that day, I've been yearning for the call, the sign that I've been waiting for. Ooh, baby, I am longing for And every second from that on, girl, you know you've held my poor heart captive. There was something in your eyes, something in that smile that lit a spark and set my soul on fire. And since that day, I've been yearning for the call.
Beautiful sunny skies and the south of France. A perfect location and perfect weather for the next round of the 2025 F4 Spanish Championship. We're at Circuit Paul Ricard. We're hitting the halfway point of the championship already here in early June, and it's set to be quite a magnificent weekend. Particularly, we've got over 30 drivers on the grid for this weekend here in France. Hello, everybody. Scott Woodwist here to guide you through all the action. You'll hear from Alex Garcia very shortly down on the grid. But the cars are leaving the assembly area and leaving the pit lane to head onto circuit for what should be a very exciting race. It's set to be somewhat, I think, half an hour plus one lap. And as the racing action will get underway very shortly, it's been quite a championship battle at the front of the field from start to finish already. 3 different winners, the one driver who has a runaway points tally at this early stage of the championship, and that is Thomas Strauven. He has won essentially all but 3 races so far this season. If you look at where he is in the championship, he is looking pretty solid at the moment, 170 points. And he's won 4 races, I'll forgive myself. He's been on the podium in every single race bar one, but 4 races, including the hat trick last time out at Portimao. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. But the likes of René Lammers and Jan Brzezowski, who are 2 points separated after Portimao last time out, are going to be also pretty tricky to get there in the mix. And it is Jan Brzezowski who starts on pole position. Well, Alex Garcia is down there in the heat of Paul Ricard, and it is very hot, particularly after we just come off the back of Portimao. Alex, I think it should be pretty interesting to see. Big field as always in Spanish F4, and one driver certainly running away with it. He'll start on the front row of the grid. This is the chance for Thomas Strauven to once again extend his championship lead. But if Jan Brzezowski and René Lammers can get good starts from the front row and from P5 respectively, they can make it difficult for him today, particularly from this first race from the outset.
Hi again, Scott, and exactly that is pretty much the story that we're going to look at for this first race of the weekend. We have Thomas Strauven, who has, of course, been dominating the beginning of the season, especially after that fantastic weekend in Portimao. But he has rivals everywhere in those first rows. Of course, pole sitter Jan Brzezowski should be one of big challengers. But we are looking also at that quite exciting, frankly, second row of the grid with Nathan Tye in 4th place, with Ian Eggmans, who has been doing a good improvement over the last few races in 3rd, and with René Lammers just behind, waiting on the wings to see if he can make it happen. We know that he is quick and he is very good in the race pace. Nathan Tye as well. So we have a lot of race drivers as opposed to qualifying drivers who could have something to say in this first race of the weekend. But important, the heat is getting really, really intense. That is the second weekend of the season with these kind of conditions. Remember, Formula 4 has had the Spanish Winter Championship, but also the beginning of the season, which was not as hot as it is now. And as summer comes around, well, those are different conditions that the drivers need to contend with. That should have been a challenge for the rookie drivers, but they've done pretty well. So let's see how they manage today and tomorrow, especially considering that we will have that big gap over the summer. So it is very important for all of them to get good feelings today and tomorrow and to get that momentum through the summer.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and there's a lot of drivers in the mix who are a bit further back than they'd like to be. One driver in particular I'll point out is Juan Cota. Only qualified 9th in qualifying earlier on this morning, but we'll come back to him shortly. Two drivers that have impressed me from qualifying this morning that are a little higher up than their points tally would suggest. Nathan Taj, you mentioned, fantastic lap in qualifying to put himself on the second row of the grid. Now, he scored his best results of the season way back at the opening race of the season, Aragon, back with 4th position. Yet to score a podium this season so far. He took 2 top 10s last time at Portimao, 5th place in the sprint race, or in the second race in Portugal last time. The other driver that surprised me also as well, positively, he's had some good form recently, is the Lebanese driver, Christopher El Fagali. Starting in 7th on the grid, he got himself a podium last time at Portimao. These are certainly going to be two names, Alex, I think they're going to watch out for amongst the established front runners who've been up there taking podiums and victories. I think those two could do something special if they get the opportunity in what is a mammoth field of cars, as we know. If those two can get themselves a good start and keep themselves in the lead fight, they could get a good result here.
Absolutely. I was coincidentally, actually, so maybe I didn't bring so much luck to some racers in Eurocup, but I did bring some good luck so far to those people I've talked to in Formula 4. But I was talking to both Christopher Fagali's family and Nathan Tai himself as well, and they were both pretty comfortable yesterday. And when a driver is comfortable from the outset, from free practice, you know that they are usually on for a good result through the weekend, because that means they found the comfortable setup, the good setting that will allow them to push. And that was proved in qualifying. They were pretty happy. I was talking a little bit longer with Fagali's family as well, and they were mentioning, they're proud of what they're doing so far as a rookie driver. Being a rookie in Formula 4 is never easy, and they're doing a very, very good job being one of the standouts so far in this 2025 season, as well as the Spanish Winter Championship earlier in the year. So those are two names that I think will be interesting to watch today. And in the case of the Lebanese driver, maybe for the rest of the season as well, I would imagine. And I would hope, because having more drivers from more teams here at the top is always more fun.
And always different nationalities on top of that too. The fact we've got a Lebanese driver up there doing so well is certainly a key one as well. Another driver I picked up on that is not as high as I think he should be, Noah Montero, of course the son of former F1 driver and TCR racer Tiago Montero. He's a bit further back than he would want to be, back on the 7th row in 13. Not a great qualifying for him. And a couple of other drivers that also took some decent results. Miguel Costa starting from 12th on the grid as well. And also as well a good lap for Hudson Schwartz, who's currently 9th in the championship after a couple of podiums at the start of the season. So there's a few drivers out of position for this race. So ultimately I think this is going to be pretty crucial for them to get as many points as they can, as much positions as they can, ahead of tomorrow when they're going to get big points. This could be one of those races where we're getting to the halfway point in the season. The points that you could score here, particularly when out of position, if they can make up a few more spots, that could be crucial coming towards the end of the championship, because any good points you can get here is going to be more than crucial if you're in a championship fight or a fight for positions in the top 5 or the top 10 coming towards the end of the season, when quite literally every single point matters.
Absolutely, and on top of that, to be honest, when you were mentioning some of those names that were not perhaps as high up in the qualifying session this morning as we might have expected, it just goes to show just how tight this season is being so far. We've seen a lot of drivers in very, very little time, and that shows that you need to be on top of your game every single session, because if you're not, this is what happens. One weekend you're fighting for the podium, the next one you're struggling to get into the points.
You're not wrong. Well, once again, thank you very much to yourself, Alex, as well. Queda vaya bien, and gracias, mi amigo. We'll certainly hopefully talk to you at some point if we need to throughout the race and again at the end on the podium. So the cars, as you heard and in C, are off on their formation lap for this 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. Let's rattle through the grid of how they'll line up here. The race 1 of the weekend here at Paul Ricard. It is a mammoth grid of some, currently 33 cars on the grid for this weekend. Another big entry and a strong entry for Spanish F4. It's Jan Przowski, 3rd in the championship, 3 times a winner this season. He'll start on pole position by almost 3/10 of a second from championship leader Thomas Strauben from Belgium. Then Ian Eickmans, his fellow Belgian driver, starts third in the highest placed MP Motorsport car, and it will be Nathan Tye for Rodan Motorsport, one of his best qualifying to date. Could he get himself a first podium if he gets a good start from the second row of the grid? Then Rene Lammers and Renaud Franco come next on the third row from Christopher Elfagali, one of his best qualifying results for DriveX. He starts in 7th alongside Niklas Schaufler, the Austrian driver for KCL MP. Juan Cota and Nuttchen Schwarz will then go ahead and round off the top 10 ahead of Alfino Spina, another driver who's doing pretty well. 16th in the championship, starting in 11th place. He's alongside Miguel Costa on the 6th row of the grid. And then row 7 will be... Row 7 is going to be where we find Noah Montero, who's a bit further back than he wants to be, alongside Andrej Petrovic. Then it's Gino Trapper and Vivek Kanthan, followed by Matis Rieber and Santino Panetta, one of the Argentinians in the grid. Alexander Jacobi and Filippo Fiorentino, followed by Santiago Baztarica and Victor Dobzhansky, who is right back down the order, starting in 22nd. Hyuho Lee, the South Korean driver for Rodan Motorsport, alongside Sasha Avantpad Bosch. And then it's Emma Felbermeyer, the only lady racer in the field for Rodan Motorsport, starting back in 25th on the grid, alongside Nacho Tugnon, followed by Kaiden Higgins and Stepan Suslov, the Swedish driver, followed by Lorenzo Campos, Alexander Bogdanovic, Ricardo Baptista, Daniel Dalakiem, the Armenian driver. They're right at the back of the field. Last but by no means least is Francisco Monarca from Monlau Motorsport. So an all-Griffin call by Campos front row. Jan Brzezowski will be hoping for a solid result if he can. And as the cars form up one by one here, again, 30 minutes plus 1 lap. And it's for this 30-minute race, it is 25 points for a win, 18 points per second, very much mimicking the F1 point system for the top 10. It's 2 points for pole position and 1 point for the fastest lap. So 2 bonus points for Jan Brzezowski, who has taken 3 wins, a second and a third place throughout the season. And he's looking to try and get the best on Thomas Strauben, who, despite the anomaly being the instant that he had that saw him finish 34th, or at least classified 34th in the second race at Aragon, he has not left the podium in every single race that he's, finished. He has taken 4 wins, 2 seconds, and 2 third places. Surely Strauben wants to keep this up because he brings into this weekend a nearly 60-point lead, which he'll want to try and maintain. So last couple of cars are just getting themselves into position. It is Thomas Strauben on the left, alongside Jan Brzezowski, the pole on the right-hand side, and his teammate from pole position. Watch for the red lights, and race 1 of the weekend for round 4 of F4 Spanish Championship. And Paul Ricard will burst into life when they get underway. It's a slow start from the second row of the group for Nathan Tye. Not a good getaway from the Rodan driver as the 33-strong field charges its way down towards turn 1 for the first time. It looks to me as if it is going to be Brzezowski who holds the lead, and I think potentially Thomas Strauben might have lost a couple of spots as they turned in. Eickmans is up to second place, though it's Strauben, in fact, that leads. So Strauben got the better start from the inside of the front row, and he leads the way, the championship leader in front. But Eickmans, his fellow Belgian driver, on his tail for MP Motorsport. It's third place for Brzezowski, fourth for Rene Lammers, and Nathan Tye from the second row of the grid. He's down to fifth for Rodan. Another threat from an excellent start, actually, from Chris Elfagali, who, where he started back on the grid, he was in 7th place. He's up 1 spot already to 6th, ahead of Rene Franco. And Rene Franco's dropped 1 place too. Out onto the Mistral for the first time, and it's now weaving nose to tail with 2 Belgians, Strauben and Eickmans, nose to tail. Now, Eickmans in his season so far, if you look at his progress, he so far has had best of 2 second places taken last time at Portimao, but he looks to the outside into the Nord Chicane for the lead. But Strauben, the championship leader, throws the block and holds firm in position. Through the chicane for the first time, Eickmans glued to the rear wing of Strauben as they head on to the second pass of the Mistral straight. And you can pass on the outside. Now here comes Eickmans to the outside line. He's drawing level with the side draft to his fellow Belgian. Number 2 drivers side by side towards Senior. Who's going to lift first of all? It's going to be Eickmans that backs out, but he might get the switch back and possible a move here down towards the Lebose double right-hander. And just further back, it's Nathan Tye. And Elfagali is showing us in 4th position. So a cracking start for Chris Elfagali, who started 7th on the grid. He's up 3 places already, up to 4th. In fact, he's dropped back to 5th now. There's lots of position changes going on as we switch through. But yeah, Elfagali, who is now back behind Nathan Tye, you can see. Now as they turn out of the left-hander at Curb de Galaban through the Virage de la Tour and in towards Virage du Pont for the first time. It is going to be car 99, championship leader Thomas Straven, who leads them across the line at the end of lap number 1 here of this 30-minute +1 race for the first race of the weekend for round 4 of F4 Spanish Championship. So Straven leads, Eichmann second, is Przowski third. Nathan Tyes maintains 4th position. This is good for the Rodin driver. Chris Elfagardi for DriveX is in 5th position. An excellent start for the Lebanese driver. Franco 7th, Lammers 8th, Hugo Schwartz is 9th, and Schaufler is in 10th. As for Noah Montero, back in 14th. Not a good start for the son of Thiago Montero. He's picked up one more spot. He's got past, looks like, the number 78 Spina for TC Racing. That's the Thibaut Courtois team, owned by the Belgian goalkeeper. Now on lap 2, as they turn out through the top end of the circuit, and now on towards the Mistral Straight for the second time. Everyone settling in here. We did see a bit of a slow burn in the Euro Cup 3 race that happened a little earlier, where there was a bit of an initial lead battle. There was an early safety car which kind of bunched things together again, but we saw initial battles, then it kind of sort of spread out a little more as the race went on, and in the last 2 or 3 laps, everything sort of came back together with a slight sort of accordion effect when there was that battle for the lead. Wonderful to see it here. Now, Rodin have got one of their cars being backed into the garage. It's 24 that's getting backed in, and that is Kyu-Ho Lee. So that's the South Korean driver, sadly, with issues for him. He's nearly retirement. And also another car's off the road, and we're going safety car. And that is, I think, one of the MP Motorsport cars. It's 27 that's gone off the road. And 27 is going to be... Is it 27? It might be 20. I don't think it is... It's one of the Monline Motorsport cars. It's Alexander Jacobi. My apologies. So it's Monline Motorsports, Alexander Jacobi, the Brazilian, off the road. And that is going into the complex towards the top end of the circuit before the Mistral Straight. That's at Virage du Camp in that section. And there's been contact with somebody. Now, I'm not going to suggest that the fact that Kyu-Ho Lee's car is being pulled into the garage is the issue. I think that incident has happened after his car, or as his car was being pushed into the garage. It's obviously somebody else has been involved in that. So he's now gone dropping down the timing order. And safety car has been called. So the person that gets his benefits the most is really going to be Thomas Straven, given that he will maintain the lead. It'll only start to fire up Ian Eichmans, who is his fellow Belgian and also top of the rookie category. The rookies, in fact, we've got Eichmans in the lead of that one. Chris Elfagardi is second, and then it's Niklas Schaufler, the Austrian driver for KCLMP, currently in third, followed by the number 5 of Costa and Noah Montero in now 13th place. Those 2 Campos drivers rounding out the top 5 in rookies. So the recovery team's already taking to Alexander Jacobi's stranded Monline Motorsport car. Again, big shout out to all the marshals and all of the recovery crews, particularly in this pretty sweltering heat. If you think about the temperature right now, is some 27 degrees over at Circuit Paul Ricard. 60% humidity on top of that as well. No chance of rain and a very light wind around as well. But sweltering conditions, and they're having to do so in their fireproof orange overalls. And trying to push away Alexander Jacobi's car. It looks like it has damage mainly to the front left, and also the front wing's been torn off as well. And Rodin. I'm being corrected in ways. It's Rodin, not Rodin. So apologies for any Rodin fans if I butchered that name. Thank you to my producer in the air for correcting me for that one. As Rodin will certainly be quite happy with their man Nathan Tye in 4th position. The next highest Rodin car in the field is Emma Feldmeier, back in 19th. And we saw that Kyu-Ho Lee is already out of the race, having been pushed back into his garage. So the order at this point in time, as the marshals continue to recover the stranded Monlau Motorsport machine of Alexander Jacobi, they're having to drag it along, even though it has got damaged front left suspension. It's Straven that leads, Eichmann second, Przowski third, Nathan Tye 4th, Chris Elfagardi in 5th for DriveX, Rene Franco in 6th, Rene Lammers in 7th place, Hugo Schwartz in 8th. Then it's Juan Coach and Petrovic. Let's look at the start again. And a strong start from the inside of the front row for Thomas Straven, saw him lead the way in towards turn 1. And again, it was a little similar to what we had, in a way, to what happened with Ernesto Rivera in Euro Cup 3 with the driver on the front row of the grid on pole position, which is on driver's left, didn't get the best of starts. It was, I think, possibly where the front row is in second place. It's more mainly where the racing line is, heading down towards the left-hander at the first corner. That's probably where the grip is a lot more, because a lot more rubber's been laid down. So it doesn't surprise me that Thomas Strauben got a better start than Jan Brzozowski, but it's still Griffin core cars in first and third position. As you saw there, the Alexander Jacobi number 27 machine has been mostly recovered to a safer spot. So I'm not sure if we'll go this time by. I think we're going to get one more lap behind the safety car, because by now, yeah, the car's now behind the barrier. Unless they call a very late safety car in, I suspect we might be going for another lap behind the Audi safety car. Just to be absolutely certain, because I think a restart now would be a little bit late. Unless they do decide to call it. No, the lights are not out just yet. They're just coming out of Courbe de Garlaban. And I think they are going to go around for another lap, just to be absolutely certain. As we mentioned, the championship is into its kind of crossover point in the second half of the season this weekend. We've got one race today, 2 more tomorrow. And after that, we stay in Spain for the whole rest of the season. We've done our 2 away rounds at Portugal and then here at Paul Ricard. Once this is complete this weekend, we go to Jerez in Spain towards the end of September. Then, middle of October, it's off to the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Cheste in Valencia. And then it's going to be the season finale in November. So some nice winter sunshine or late autumn sunshine at Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Montmeló in mid-November to finish off the season, where if we haven't by then, we will crown our 2025 F4 Spanish champion. And so far at the moment, Thomas Strauben coming into the weekend with a 58 points, 58 point lead over René Lammers in second place. He's in the driving seat, no pun intended. He really has got this command of the championship so far, Thomas. René Lammers, who is the son of former F1 driver and 1988 Le Mans winner Jan Lammers, incredibly experienced driver, also has raced touring cars and all sorts of different machinery over the years. Good to see that René is enjoying his own up-and-coming racing career at this point in time. So this is a crucial time now for the drivers to just keep their temperatures and pressures and in the brakes and tyres in check. There will be a handful of drivers, as you can see, including Thomas Strauben, that are just gently weaving from side to side. Some argue that it's better to brake and accelerate a little bit to kind of get some heat into the tyres, but doing that might well put some of the cars off behind, and that just leads to the potential of some drivers not paying attention. So weaving is generally the accepted way, at least in this situation, for many, of warming up the tyres. But when you brake, of course, heat dissipates through the tyre and warms it up that way. You do see that too. So any drivers compared to where they are in the championship who are a little further down than they should be. We talked about Noah Montero, 7th in the points coming into the weekend. Was only 2 points behind. He was a point behind Renaud Franco, who himself was 2 points behind Juan Cota. But out of that individual battle between the three of them, Franco is winning that. He's currently 6th in the best of the KCL MP Motorsport cars. He's not the best MP Motorsport run car. That's Ian Eichmann's in second place. Whereas Cota is up to 9th, considering where he started a bit further back. And Noah Montero back in 13th. So he's got a lot of work to do to get back up the order. Anyone else who's a bit further down, Andrei Petrovic is in 10th, and he's in 9th and 8th in the points. Hudson Schwartz is up to 8th. And also in the top 10, Vivek Kanthan, who is in 16th, compared that he's in 10th in points. Best result of the season was a pair of 5th positions in races 1 and 2 at Aragon. And I think now that the Alexander Jacobi car is firmly behind the barrier, as is the driver and the recovery teams, we should be getting a restart this time by it. And I think the fact we see Thomas Strauben stacking up the pack suggests that we are going to do that. The safety car has disappeared up the road. So for those who haven't seen a safety car restart before, Strauben now effectively becomes the safety car. He now chooses when to restart the race. There's no overtaking until they cross the start and finish line and take the green flag. But he now chooses when to actually get the race restarted. It's down to his control when he puts his foot down and powers back up at racing speeds. And he can stack the pack up for, within reason, as long as he wants to. He doesn't have to go straight away as soon as the safety car disappears. He'll choose an opportune moment to try and catch Eichmann's and the rest of the crew off guard as much as he can. You might decide to go here on the exit the final corner. If not, when they get to the pit straight. He's just biding his time. There he goes. As we go back to green flag racing, green lights all around the circuit. It is Strauven back to racing with some, I think that's 18 odd minutes to go then, plus 1 lap. So racing is back underway and immediately an attack for third position. Here comes Nathan Tye looking to possibly the inside line of Jan Brzozowski. And I think he made the move stick. Nathan Tye, the British driver, looks as though he has taken third position. Yes, he has. So the Rodin Motorsport driver is also on the tail of the top 2. Could Nathan Tye here spring a surprise result? Side by side for fourth. Here comes Chris Elfagali round the outside of Jan Brzozowski. But the Polish driver holds firm in towards the complex. So Nathan Tye here with a mega restart to catch Jan Brzozowski off guard. I wonder if he might have a chance here to get onto the tail of second place Ian Eichmann's, because Strauven has pulled away in the opening few corners. He's got a small gap now to Eichmann's. He's not having to go defensive and weave to get himself out of the draft. But Ty's there in third position. And Figali's still in fifth behind Brzozowski. René Lammers is now sixth. Franco, Schwartz, Kota and Petrovic. That's the top 10. Figali just has a little look, peeks out from behind the Polish driver. The second of the Griffin Core cars. They wind their way through the chicane onto the second part of the Mistral Straight. I almost call it Mulsanne Straight, as at Le Mans, because it's very similar. The fact you've got a chicane breaking up the long straight. Battle on behind, I can see. There's one of the MP Motorsport cars getting very feisty. I think that might be Juan Kota. That's actually one of the Polo cars. I think I'll work it out in a second. It's one of the Tico by Amtov cars, potentially. Was that Petrovic and Schaufler going on for 10th, 11th place, maybe? We'll work that out in a second. Out through the Beausset, side by side there. I think was that between two more cars immediately behind Figali. That might have been Lammers and Franco and Schwartz battling pretty closely. It might well have been Lammers and Franco, I think. Lots of position changes in the second half of the field. Looking at the timing screen, lots of things changing around on that restart. So everyone's keeping very close and making up places. It looked to me as if we had a duel between Lammers and Franco over sixth position. Both of them MP Motorsport cars as Nathan Tye runs out wide on the exit of the final corner. And now looks as though Brzozowski's going to get him back down the pit straight. Still Strauven from Eichmann's, but now it's Nathan Tye and Brzozowski side by side. Ty's got the Rodin car just a nose ahead in front as they head towards turn one. There's a huge battle behind between two teammates in the background as well. I think that might be the two more Campos drivers. Tye holds on to third place, but Brzozowski is all over the rear wing of the young Brit. Now this brings Chris Vigai into play, and Tye squeezes it right to the edge of the road. He does not want to give this up easy. Throws the block down towards the complex. And as they turn in through Virage de Hotel, it is still Tye in there, but you can see a bit of a bottleneck stacking up. So many cars in that lead group who are stacked up behind Nathan Tye. Nothing's holding them up, of course, but the Rodin driver is really having to put his defending boots on to hold on from Jan Brzozowski. The Polish driver determined to get back to third place because he must feel he's got pace to go and chase after the top two. Strauven and Eichmann's, the two Belgians, have disappeared up in first and second place. There's a visible gap to third place. Look behind. Huge battle side by side. That's one of the MP Motorsport cars that I think is possibly Schwartz and Petrovic down towards the Nord Chicane. And you can see behind, Ty's holding back from Brzozowski, then Figali, then Lammers, then Franco. I think it was Kota and Petrovic going wheel to wheel. And there's lots of position swapping going on corner exit. Everyone's nose to tail. We'll work out the orders that come through. More side-by-side action. That will be behind. That's Figali and Lammers by the look of it. That's over fifth position. And Lammers looking round the outside. And René Lammers going to make the move in towards Signé corner. Brave pass from the Dutchman. And the son of Jan Lammers is up into position. And also now, Figali under threat from the third of the MP Motorsport cars. That's the KCL MP Motorsport car of Renault Franco behind him. You can tell the KCL cars have got the kind of white livery on the side and on the side pods. Change of position there. Huge squabbles going on at the bottom of the top 10. Another one of the Red Bull cars further back is also getting stuck in. It's just outside the top 10 by the look of it. So, this F4 Spanish race. We said the Euro Cup 3 race was a little bit of a slow burn, even though we had an early safety car. But this F4 Spanish race has positively kicked off. Fight for third. Still Nathan Tye holding firm in the middle of the road, trying to force Brzozowski to go down the outside. Also, René Lammers is going to the outside to make the racing line. Still wheel to wheel. And round the outside into turn one goes Jan Brzozowski to take third position. The Polish driver takes the Griffin Core car back up into the podium places, but Nathan Tye's not done. Here he comes back to the outside line. Can he pull off the same trick that Brzozowski has pulled off on him into turn one? They slot back into line, and this now gives René Lammers an invitation. He'll knock on the door. Excuse me, fellas, can I come in and have a play? And there he goes up the inside, and he showed his nose. He was keen to get himself up the inside at Virage du Camp, but this now puts him right onto Ty's gearbox as they come onto the Mistral straight now for the 7th time. Lap 7 of this first race of the weekend. You can see the field in the background pouring its way through Virage du Camp and on towards the Mistral straight for the 7th time in this race. Przowski in 3rd, Ty in 4th, Lammers 5th, Vigali in 6th. Then it's Franco, Schwartz, Petrovic and Juan Costa has been shuffled back to 10th. All line astern. And behind them, you've also got in there too Miguel Costa and Noah Montero, the two Campos Racing teammates, 11th and 12th. So this huge train of cars from 3rd down to 12th. 10 cars in a line all together for this final podium place. While Strauven and Eichmanns are off for a casual Saturday afternoon drive. They're battling amongst each other. Half a second between the two Belgians. Strauven still leads Eichmanns. And this front three in this group for 3rd are just starting to try and break away, trying to put a gap between themselves and Chris Elfagali for Drive X. The Red Bull back driver, certainly doing well for the pride of his home country of Lebanon. Meanwhile, up at the front, in a slightly more civilised manner, come our two race leaders. Strauven and Eichmanns together, then come our fight for 3rd. This almost never-ending train of cars, 10 of them fighting over the podium spots. And a little bit of reprieve for Przowski. He's got a small car length or so over Ty as they turn out of Virage du Pont. They keep the timing left. We have 11.5 minutes plus 1 lap. And the top two are away by some 4 seconds, side by side there. That was between Petrovic and Kota. Kota looking to the outside of Petrovic to take a position from the T-code by Antog, number 77 car. But Petrovic holding firm. The Serbian, I think he's the Serbian driver. We're going to get that right. Otherwise, I'm sure I'm going to be shouted at if I get it wrong. Yes, Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic. But the Spaniard, Juan Cota, holding position. And I wonder here if in this lead battle, we saw a similar situation with Mattia Colnaghi and Ernesto Rivera in the Euro Cup 3 race, where Rivera made an initial attack, then sat back for most of the race and kind of saved his tyres, trying to push too hard. And then right towards the end, when he got close enough, he was starting to attack for position. I wonder if they're using the same strategy here. Strauven just dictating the pace. Eichmann's going with him. And I wonder if Eichmanns has got enough pace here saying, right, I'll just follow in your wheel tracks, Thomas. You lead the way. I'll save my tyres a little bit. I'll just stick here, put you under pressure. And then in the last couple of laps, then I'm going to start to attack and really go for it. And of course, the harder they fight each other, the easier it is for the cars behind to make an impact and close in. That group still being led by Strauven's teammate, Jan Przowski. And that train is getting ever bigger for 3rd position. Last time by, new fastest lap of the race. It was briefly set by Strauven, 207.824, and then it was immediately beaten by Eichmann's 207.7. And it's these two that are lapping only in the 2-minute 7s. Everyone else is doing 2-minute 8s, if not 2-minute 9s. So quite comfortably, they are the pace setters at the moment. Out of the final corner come the two leaders. Strauven from Eichmanns. Strauven gets the fastest lap of the race back again. 207.661. He lowers it by another 10th. Gap is still 7/10 of a second between them. Then a further almost 4 seconds back to Jan Przowski in 3rd. And that battle seems to have settled itself for the time being. In fact, actually, Przowski sets the fast lap of the race himself with clear track in front of him. Fractionally faster than his teammate. 207.603. So excellent stuff from Przowski to try and close this gap in. And I wonder with clear air, even though he only has about 9 minutes plus a lap to go, what he can do to try and close this gap in. He'll now leave the scrap what will be 4th position. There were likes of Ty, Lammers, El Fagali, Franco, Schwartz, Kota, and Petrovic, Montero and Costa to worry about. There has been a switch between the two Campos Racing teammates. Montero is up to 11th, ahead of Miguel Costa. So a change around between the 81 and the 5. You can see there, like Przowski with a couple of car lengths over Nathan Ty. He himself now trying to gap himself a little more from Lammers behind in 5th position. And again, we're sort of hitting a little bit of a stalemate at this point in the race. Lots of battling, there's some side-by-side battling going on there towards the back end of that. I think possibly 12th and 13th place, I think. Some dueling going on about mid-pack, I think. Might well have been Rieber and Dobzhansky battling over 17th place, looking at some of the timing gaps. So Thomas Strauven, who will be hoping to take, if all works out well, his 5th win of the season and his 4th straight victory in a row. And again, as I mentioned, every single race that he's effectively finished, because I think the classification of 34th was probably retirement, every single race he's finished on the podium. He has a 100% podium finishing record so far this year. And Strauven certainly being the class of the field. Strauven, 17 years old, from Genk in Belgium. And making the most of his opportunity here as he makes his way down the straight, being chased by Eichmanns. More fast slaps of the race, and again it's being traded between Strauven and Eichmanns. 207.5 for Strauven, 207.4 for Eichmanns right behind. Brings the gap down by another 10th. He's now got it down to 0.6 of a second. As we still have just under 7 minutes plus a lap to go. Brzozowski holds third. Ty's now pulled away from Lammers in 4th position. El Fagali 6th, Franco 7th. Then still Schwartz, Kota and Petrovic in the top 10. Montero just hovering around in 11th. Costa 12th. Then Spina, Trapper, Canthan, Schaufler, Rieber, Dobzhansky, Van Padbosch, who I think has moved up quite a few places from where he started. Sasha Van Padbosch, who was back in 24th on the grid, up 5 places to 19th. So a few spots gained. Might certainly put him in good stead for race 2. Back towards the chicane Nord. Just breaking up that Mistral straight. Thomas Strauven has this race pretty much under control. He was fractionally faster in Sector 1. So that gap has stayed pretty static at about 7 tenths. No real change. And everyone just getting a bit spread-eagled here in the front group. Eichmanns is either keeping his powder dry or doing his best to keep the pace with Strauven. Of course, he's lapping at the same pace. He set the fastest lap of the race and was about a 10th quicker on the last lap, so he has got the pace to match Strauven. Just needs that little bit more, either for Strauven to use his tyres up a little bit too much, or for Eichmanns to find a little bit more pace within those Harncook tyres and within that MP Motorsport car to really start pushing forwards. Into the complex at the end of the lap, through the left-hander of Virage de la Tour, past the pit entry into Virage Dupont. And again, they've got the clear advantage of some 3.5, 4 seconds. There goes Brzozowski. Just saw Nathan Ty flash through the shot. Down the pit straight. What's the gap this time by? What about lap times? No new fastest lap yet. In fact, looking past, it was a fraction faster in Sector 2. Pretty much match each other in Sector 3. So there's no real change in the gap there. Still about 6 tenths of a second. Brzozowski does a 2:07.448. So he's gone purple in Sector 1, personal best in Sector 2. It's a faster lap of the race, but he's only brought the gap down to the leader to 4.2 seconds. And he's not really making that many more inroads, I don't think, at this early stage of the closing stages to the top 2. Let's see if Eichmanns is taking the Rivera strategy here from Euro Cup 3. Let's just see what he's got left in his arsenal here to try and pull out a couple more tricks to close the gap. He'll get the benefit from the toe down the first part of the Mistral straight. Then Brzozowski 3rd, Ty 4th, Lammers in 5th position. El Fagali in the Red Bull colours in 6th. Is then Franco 7th, Schwartz in 8th, Kota 9th, Petrovic 10th, and the 2 Campos cars behind in 11th and 12th, Montero and Costa. There's a big 3-way scrap going on right deep down the order when another of the Red Bull cars, 3 abreast, almost into the chicane in the background. Just keeping an eye. That took my attention for a moment. They've all got through safely. But Strauven visibly is pulling away. In fact, the fact they both set the fastest first sector of the race. It was a 34.7 for Strauven, 34.8 for Eichmanns. They've both gone purple in Sector 1. Well, technically Strauven has, because he set a faster first sector. And Eichmanns has come back at him by a 10th in Sector 2. So again, it's just this back and forth, this punch and counter punch between the two leaders, the 2 Belgians. And I'm sure they're going to get out of the car afterwards and give themselves a handshake and a hug, and then embrace, because they'll certainly will have enjoyed the back and forth between them. And of course, being fellow Belgians, seeing them both on the podium is going to be pleasing to the other. 3 minutes plus 1 lap. and change. Across the line. I think they're going to get, what, 2 more laps at the end of this one. Lead gap is back to almost 7 tenths. Brzozowski has brought the gap down by not much. It's still 4.1 seconds to the leader. Nathan Tye has got himself to 1.7 seconds now. Kept that gap to almost under 2 seconds between himself and Brzozowski. Lamb still 5th. There's no changes in the top 10 at the moment. They all seem to be fairly evenly matched in terms of pace in that top 10. No one's making any big moves at this point, but I wonder now we're starting to go towards the last couple of laps. You maybe just sense there are a couple of drivers that have kept their powder dry, kept a little bit extra life in their tyres, and might start to mount an attack. Now, Strauven gained 2 tenths on Eichmann's in the first sector, so he's got that gap out to about 8.5 tenths. And he'll want to try and extend that as much as he can in these next few laps, these next 3 laps, including the one that he's on, to maintain his pace, to take a 4th win in a row, and his 5th win of the season, and maintain that 100% record of taking to the podium in every race he finishes. End of sector 2, evenly matched. Both are 39.4, so no change. Still 8.5 tenths between the top 2. Brzozowski lost a tenth in his third, and he's also lost time in the second sector to Nathan Tye, who in turn has pretty much kept Ranier Lammers at bay enough to not be challenged. There is Nathan. If he stays where he is, it will be an equal best result of the season. He will equal the 4th place that he took right at the very start of the year in race 1 at Aragon. And since then, he's only been in the top 5 once since then, and that was the second race at Portimao last time. And he's had some retirements and a couple of rough results. He's finished outside the top 10 3 times and officially retired once. Looks like I think Thomas Strauven did finish. Well, okay, so he's all but 1 race then, because obviously if he retired, he'll be retired on the points table that I have in front of me here. So he did actually finish the race, but down in 34th. But apart from 1 race then, I'll correct myself, it is all but 1 where he has finished on the podium. And he wants to try and keep this win streak up as much as he can. We are now on to the penultimate lap of the race, because the time has ticked down to under a minute, to 30 seconds now plus a lap. So we'll hit 0 in a few moments' time. The gap is now out to over a second. And Eichmann lost about 3 tenths of a second on that last lap. So he's now fallen out of, I think, attack range and possibly even slipstream range. He lost another tenth in the first sector, nearly 2 tenths, in fact. So I think this might well be potentially game, set, and match for Strauven, but there's still another lap to go after this one. Anything can happen. Brzozowski seems to be in a little bit of no man's land in 3rd place. He's not catching the cars in front, but he's not losing time to Nathan Tye and the cars behind it. So he's certainly looking pretty comfortable in 3rd place to make it, at the moment, a Griffin Core 1-3 on the podium. And Rodin Motorsport will certainly also be quite pleased with Nathan Tye getting another top 5 finish. There are other cars in the field haven't quite had the pace they would have hoped for. Q-Ho Lee retired early on. And Emma Felbermeyer is back down in 22nd. Currently battling, I think, with Suslov in the number 41 DXR machine. So here comes Thomas Strauven, the Belgian. Everything under control. Fastest lap of the race. He'll get the bonus points for that as well. He didn't get the pole position points. That went to Jan Brzozowski. But he'll get, if he sticks it this way and doesn't get a lap taken away by Ian Eichmann's, it will be another fastest lap point for him. Onto the final lap they go. Strauven's gap is 0.9 of a second. So in that last sector, Eichmann's grabbed a fraction of time back. But he seems, at the moment, almost resided in 2nd place. He's not really pushing. He's still pushing hard, hoping for a mistake or an opportunity somewhere on the final lap. But I just sense that Strauven's got this one under control, as he has done so many times before this season. There's a reason why he's the championship leader. There's a reason why he's finished on the podium in all but 1 race. And there's a reason he's taken 4 wins so far this year and is on course for win number 5. He's an incredibly talented young Belgian There's his countryman behind him. And Jan Brzozowski's teammate. So I think this will be quite an enjoyable podium. If it stays as it is, of course, the Griffin Call by Campos squad will be delighted getting 2 cars on the podium. Straven will at least be happy that his fellow Belgian's on the podium, as well as his teammate. For Eichmans, he has yet to win a race, but he'll equal his best result of the season again. He hasn't won a race so far this year. He is top of the rookie class in this season so far. Coming into the weekend, he was leading that ahead of Noah Montero and Vivek Kanthan. All 3 of those drivers in the top 10 in points. And Eichmans, this will be, if it stays where he is, his 5th podium of the season, his 4th second place of the year. And I wonder if a victory surely must be coming soon. If he can just get that slightly better start, find a bit more pace in the MP Motorsport machine, and get himself to the top of the times, if he's able to do so. But turning his way out of the left-hander at Virage de Bondor, round Courbe de Garlaban, up towards the Virage de la Tour, past the pit entrance, and into Virage du Pont for the last time. This young Belgian is certainly marking himself to be one of the stars of the future potentially. He will turn out to the final corner, head to the checkered flag, pick up his 4th win in a row and his 5th of the season. It's victory once again for Thomas Straven as he wins race 1 of the weekend for the F4 Spanish Championship at Paul Ricard, and emphatically as well, after race-long pressure from his fellow countryman Ian Eichmans, who takes his 4th second place of the year. Jan Brzozowski is back on the podium in 3rd place. It's 4th for Nathan Ty. He equals his best result from the start of the year at Aragon. And 5th place goes to René Lammers as well. 2nd in the championship. And that's another top 5 finish. And I'm sure thumbs up between the Belgians. Delighted to have them both on the podium. Rest of the top 10 was Chris Elfagali, 2nd of the rookie drivers, the Red Bull back racer for DriveX. He finished in 6th. And then it's Rene Franco, Hugo Schwartz, Juan Cota, and Andrej Petrovic, who round out the top 10 from Noah Montero and Miguel Costa. And it looks as though, looking at my timing screen, that we had, I think, just about all but maybe a couple of cars that didn't make the end. We saw Alexander Jacobi out of the race. We also lost as well Kyunho Lee. And we also lost the number 17, the number 39 as well. We lost actually, which was, I'll check that for a second. Number 39 on my table is Santino Panetta, one of the TC Racing cars, Thibaut Courtois' team. The 15-year-old from Buenos Aires out of the race, unfortunately, with issues. But Thomas Straven still being proving to be very difficult to beat. He is beatable, but you still can't shake him off the podium. And some great racing in the early stages, which I'm sure that everyone else will be looking to try and improve on when we get to race 2 tomorrow. 2 more races tomorrow for F4 Spanish Championship. And I'm certain you'll want to tune in, because with some of the battles that we had early on between our front runners and how close it was, then we're certain to see a lot more. And there's a lot more potential for a few more strong drivers to get themselves a podium or even contend for the race win. There goes Juan Cota. He's in a hurry to get back to the pits, that's for sure. As are a couple of drivers. I think for them it's going to be a debrief and a conversation about, well, didn't quite have the pace I wanted there. Let's try and figure out where it was. And we'll come back tomorrow a little bit stronger. So this will certainly benefit Thomas Straven, of course, in the points. It's 25 points for a win because it was a half-an-hour race. That now takes his tally. If you include the point for fastest lap, that will mean he gets 26 points for that one. So that means he's going to improve his tally up to 196. René Lammers finished in 5th, so that's 10 points for him. So he will then move on to 122. And I think Jan Brzozowski might be jumping into 3rd of the championship maybe, because Jan Brzozowski was on 110 coming into the weekend. He got the 2 points for pole position. So that put him on 112. So level with René Lammers coming into the weekend, into this race. And then he scored 15 points. So that would have put him on to 127 compared to René Lammers, who scored 10 So yeah, I think Jan Przowski, has moved up into second place in the championship now, 5 points ahead of Reinier Lammers in my mental mathematics. And in a little nudge of the P1 board for good measure. Thomas Strauven then, this is becoming very familiar territory, in a very familiar setting. He steps out of the Griffin Call by Campos machine, puts the steering wheel back on, jumps to the top of the car, and for the 5th time this season in 2025, it is victory for Thomas Strauven, his 4th win in a row as well. And he embraces his Griffin Call by MP team and smiles all round. He'll also go and give a high five and a handshake to his teammate, I'm sure, Jan Przowski, after they locked out the front row, and of course to his fellow Belgian Ian Eijkmans being in second on the grid and second in the race. Thomas taking his crash helmet off and his hands device, just absorbing not just the heat but also the success that he's achieved once again. Thomas certainly marking himself out as the standout driver in the championship, and that will further extend his championship lead with another valuable 26 points. With the fastest lap of the race plus the 25 for the win. And I guess now the question is going to be, what can he achieve for the rest of the weekend? If that now sets the tone, could he even go as far as picking up 2 more wins and going to 7 for the season and 6 in a row? Can he go for the hat-trick 2 weekends in a row? That would really be a statement of intent going into the last 3 events at Jerez, at Ricardo Tormo in Valencia, and then to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Montmello in November. There's Jan Przowski having a quick chat with his engineers. He seems pleased with 3rd place, but of course started on pole position and dropped back to 3rd in the end. But might be slightly frustrated. And as for Ian Eijkmans, just very quick, just cooling off. It's of course quite hot out there for Ricard. It's currently at the moment 27 degrees, 60% humidity, and a little brief wind in there as well. So all sorts going on. And I think we're just waiting for Thomas Strauven to get into position. He's getting some thanks from his crew. And I know that when he finally gets a signal to come over and have a chat, that our roving reporter Alex Garcia will quiz him on how that race went. A little bit of conversation going on. I think that's possibly Jan Przowski, yeah, who's having a chat with his team. Handshakes all around for them as well. And it's Thomas Strauven, in fact. Let's head down to the top of the pit lane with our winner for the 5th time this season in F4 Spanish Championship. It is Thomas Strauven. He's down there with Alex.
Thomas, 5th win of the season. What can I say that I haven't asked you before? Of course, happy?
Yeah, very happy with the result here in Paul Ricard. Yeah, taking the 4th win after Paul Ricard and the 5th win in overall. Feels incredible. Yeah, I am really happy with the car and with the team, what they did for their job. But yeah, I think we started the weekend very well here in Paul Ricard with the temperature, and let's see what we can do in the next few races.
Of course, I cannot ask you what is the key to winning, because otherwise you would be giving tools to the other drivers. But I do have to ask you, how do you feel about this weekend compared to Portimao? This is a very good start. It's as you said, 4th consecutive win. There's 2 more. You could be chasing those wins tomorrow. Do you think that's possible, or? Yeah,
of course. I don't say it's impossible. I think everything is possible. We need to see what we do for qualifying tomorrow. So tomorrow we start again. So tomorrow we need to start P3. Let's see what we can do out of there. But then we have another qualifying. But yeah, I don't think it's impossible. I think we still have the chance to do 3 out of 3. But let's keep working and try to do our job.
All right, Thomas, congratulations, enjoy the win, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thomas Strauven, the race winner for this first race of the weekend of the Formula 4 Spanish Championship. And as he was very well reminding us, this is not just the 5th win of the season, it is the 4th consecutive win. So he could be looking to get a 5th tomorrow, maybe a 6th. That would be difficult. That's not the usual thing to get a hat trick in a Formula 4 Spanish Championship. But if there's one driver who seems to be in a position where he could do it, why not? That could be Thomas.
Certainly could. We'll find out tomorrow when racing gets underway at 11 o'clock for races 2 and 3. Gracias, Alex, as always, for all your hard work down in pit lane. We're going to quickly dash off because the second race for Euro Cup 3 is on its way. Here's some of the highlights from the first race of the weekend for the F4 Spanish Championship. A 5th win of the season and a 4th in a row for champion leader Thomas Straven. Can he repeat that tomorrow when racing gets underway for race number 2 after qualifying in the morning? That's at around 11 o'clock local time. Join us then with myself, Scott Woodruss, Alex Garcia, and all of us here at Paul Ricard. Join us for more action for Spanish F4 tomorrow and switch over to Euro Cup 3 for their second race coming up very shortly. But until then, bye for now.